Hi and welcome or welcome back to the Books Are Everywhere. Today I am here with my May wrap up. For some reason I keep thinking I'm looking at June's books. It's June now. That's crazy in itself. Why do I keep thinking it's July? Anyway, we're here to look at May. I have about 20 minutes before I need to leave for work, so I'm going to try and really storm through these. I actually have 13 books for May, which is a lot more than I thought, but I feel like my reading has maybe dropped off in June. I don't know. We'll see for my June wrap up. But I read the same amount in May as I did in April, and I felt like my reading really picked up in April, so I'm really glad about that because it seems like we're still on a roll. I definitely feel like I entered May wanting to carry on that roll, and then I entered June in the same mindset, so hopefully I can push through this, but I have been really slow in my reading the past week or two, basically in June, the whole of June so far, so we'll see. But on May I have 13 books to discuss with you today. I have about 20 minutes, so let's go. The first one is You Are Here by David Nicholls. This is David Nicholls' newest release, I believe, unless he's brought out something this year that I'm not aware of. But this one had such hype last year. One of my friends loved this, gave it 5 stars. I quite enjoyed it. It wasn't a 5-star for me. It's following 2 characters who, I think they're friends of friends, and that's how they end up together on this hiking trip, walking the coast to coast across the north of England. I liked the atmosphere of this. I liked it was kind of slow and they were walking and all of the scenery and stuff, and the group of people who was walking, and this was kind of like a slow burn romance, and I did enjoy it. I just feel like it didn't do anything particularly special for me. It was definitely a fast read though. I listened to the audiobook, I got really addicted to it, and I listened to the last half of the book in a day. Courtney also read this recently, and she, I think, read the whole book in a day, and that's the first time she's done that in a while. It is definitely very addictive romance, and I did like the characters as well. But yeah, I wouldn't say it was a 5-star for me. It was definitely a 4-star for me. I then had an e-arc of Wish You Were Here by Elle McNicoll. Thank you very much to Pam Mac for sending that e-arc my way. I love Elle McNicoll's books and I've read everything that she has written, and this one was no different. I gave this one 4 stars. I really enjoyed it. This is kind of a follow-on from Some Like It Cold in that it's set around the same town, so some of the characters are overlapping, I believe. It's been a while since I read Some Like It Cold, so I can't remember the characters' names, but I believe it is because it's set in the same town. And this is another romance following an autistic main character, which I absolutely love reading from Elle's perspective as an own voices writer, and I really enjoyed this. This one is following an 18-year-old, so it is YA, but it's, oh no, actually, is this Elle's adult debut? I actually can't remember if this is an adult technically, but anyway, the main character is 18, so it feels like it's kind of new adult, and it's following our main character is a celebrity, and she goes back to this small town that I think she's originally from, if I remember rightly, or her dad has moved there. But anyway, she goes back to this small town and nobody there kind of knows who she is, so she's there for the book festival and she's just being a normal teenager basically, and having her own romance, and I absolutely love that. It was a really enjoyable romance story, and I gave that one 4 out of 5 stars as well. The next one I read was The Lantern of Lost Memories. This one I listened to as an audiobook. I listened to this entire thing in a day. I think I was driving and running a lot that day, so I just had it on double speed, and it's not a very long book. It's translated from, I believe, Japanese, and it's following our main character who is basically in the afterlife. It's following multiple different stories of people after they die, and in this world in the book, after people die, they go into this kind of between space where they go to this photo shop and they have to talk to this man who runs this shop, and he basically gets them to pick a camera and they can go back to a very specific point in their life from a picture, because they have to go through all of the pictures from their life. There's a picture a day maybe, or picture like, I think it's a picture a day. They have to go through every single picture and make an album, I think is what happened. And then after that they have to choose a camera where they can go back to a moment in time in a specific photo of their choice in their life. And it's basically following these characters, and it's kind of like disarming them. It's a really interesting way to view these characters. I did quite enjoy this one. I gave it 3.5 out of 5 stars. It wasn't anything mind-blowing, but it did feel quite unique, and I really, really liked the concept of it. The next one I read was Clementine and Danny Save the World, and then on the cover in brackets is "and each other." But that's not in the title, so I don't know if it's officially part of the title. I also listened to this one on audio, and this one was a YA. I had a proof years ago from, I think it's a Harper book. So thank you very much to them, but I'm sorry I didn't get around to it at the time. This one was following, it's kind of an enemies to lovers romance. It's following a tea influencer who blogs about tea, and also somebody who helps to run his family's tea shop. So they're kind of rivals. He trolls her online, and then they end up meeting in real life and getting involved in this like activism thing to save the local community and local Chinatown. But they don't know that they're like, he's trolling her on her blog, and they actually know each other on the internet, and now they know each other in real life. So obviously that drama ensues throughout the book. I did quite enjoy this one. I think I gave it 3 stars, maybe. It feels like a 3. I gave it 3.5. It's a 3.5. I did like it, but some of it felt a bit odd to me. Like I said, she ran a blog, and that just feels really odd in the modern age. Like, she should have a TikTok account or something. This blog was really popular, and I was like, is this really what the world is like? Because it also mentioned TikTok. So I'm like, in a world where TikTok exists, I don't think blogs are that popular. But yeah, some of it just didn't sit right, and I felt like there were things about him that I did not like, and I feel like he never redeemed himself. He was not a nice person online, and I don't feel like his in-person persona made up for that. So I feel like I should lower my rating from a 3.5 to a 3. Other than that, I can't say there was anything like bad about this. I did still enjoy it. I enjoyed the story of it, enjoyed reading it quite a lot, but I wouldn't say there were just things about it that felt a bit odd to me. The next book I read is Girls of Paper and Fire by Natasha Ngan, but I will talk about all of these together because they're a series, and me and Alex actually buddy read these over the course of May. This was a reread for me in terms of the first 2 books, and then first time for the last book. I still can't remember if Alex had read the first 2. I think she had as well. I think she was in the same position as me, where she just hadn't read the last book. But yeah, this was a reread, so I'm going to talk about them all together. The first book I absolutely loved. This is following somebody, it's fantasy, YA fantasy, but it is very hard hitting and definitely the upper end of YA. She is from this very small like village, and she is taken into the royal palace to be a concubine for the king, and there's a like house of like paper girls who are there to serve the king, and they're called paper because in this world paper people don't have powers. And then like the demon people, I think they have demon cast and silver cast, I can't remember quite. But yeah, so she is then in the palace working as a concubine for the king as part of like this whole group of women, and I loved this the first time I read it. I love the fantasy world just felt so easy to just delve into, and really, what's the word? It's really approachable as a young adult fantasy. I really love that about it. I really love the characters. I really love the romance in here. This is LGBT. The middle book I think is the lowest rated for me. First one I loved. I thought it was a brilliant introduction to the series. It just keeps going. The plot is just like, the pace is there. The second book is definitely like a bridge book. Like, it's just journeying, it's travelling. Nothing happens that I remember in that book, and I felt it really went so slow. And then the third book is like all out war, like everything is happening. Definitely becomes a much, like, the first book is like a focus on the palace, and as the series goes on it just becomes like a focus of the entire world. But yeah, I loved things about this series. I think it went 4 stars, 3 stars, 3.5. I love the first book so much, and I would highly recommend the series and the first book definitely. but there is a lot of hard-hitting topics in there, so just be warned about that. The next one I picked up is Our Infinite Fates by Laura Stephen. This one is following our two characters who are, every time they turn 18 and they keep reliving their lives, they keep waking up and reliving a different life. But every time they turn 18 they kill each other. She doesn't know why and he does. So you're following them in their modern day in Wales, but you're also following snippets of them over the course of history, and I'm talking hundreds and hundreds of years, where they have reached this point before, but they also fall in love every single time, and she doesn't know why. So you're following the mystery of her trying to find out why, and he knows why, and you're also following them over the course of history. I loved this as a concept and I thought it was really enjoyable, but as I read on, I felt like the ending just got so weird. I don't know why I didn't expect it to go in the way that it did, and bringing in the elements of the story and the world that they did, it didn't work for me as much as I wanted it to. I don't know what would have been the right answer. I don't know, but I'm not sure it quite had the payoff that I wanted. Still really, really loved it, and I gave it 4 stars, and it's been a liken to Addie LaRue, and I can see why. In a YA way. But yeah, I did still enjoy it. I gave it 4 stars, but it didn't quite hit all the spots for me, I don't think. Maybe I gave it 3.5. Looking at my spreadsheet now, I gave it 3.5. Yeah, I felt like the last 100 pages or so just didn't work for me, sadly. The next one I read is Cafe con Lychee by Emery Lee. This one is another kind of enemies to lovers romance. It's YA. It's following these two guys who are both gay. They are both sons of people who own cafes. Theo is the son of his family owns an Asian American cafe, and Gabby owns a Puerto Rican bakery across town, and they're kind of rivals at school, but they end up having to work together, and obviously they fall in love. It was very heartwarming. I don't feel like this did anything special for me, unfortunately, but I did enjoy listening to it and listening to the audiobook. I love this kind of vibe in the summer, like this is the perfect summer audiobook for me, because it's just fun, nothing too high stakes, but enjoyable. I gave it 3 out of 5 stars. The next one I picked up is In the Weeds by BK Borison. I'm making my way slowly through this series on audio. I am enjoying it. I didn't enjoy this one as much as the first one, Love Like Farms, or the one I'm currently reading, which is Mixed Signals, but I did still enjoy it. This is an adult romance. It's following an influencer who goes to stay with a grumpy farmer, or be like in the vicinity, in the town, as this grumpy farmer, because she's covering the farm on social media. This is kind of, it is a series, but I remember these characters from the first book, so it is quite linked. All of the books are quite linked. These are fun, they are nothing incredible, but if you want a fun romance with some smut, this is what you want. Same as I've always said about the Pumpkin Spice Cafe series by Laurie Gilmore. They're very much the same vibe. I gave this one 3 stars, but I'm probably going to give the next one like 3.5, so I've definitely been enjoying that one a little bit more. Maybe the characters work better for me, and the bakery, but I need to stop talking about the next one in the series. This one, 3 stars, still enjoyed it, nothing special. The next one is Imogen, obviously, by Becky Albertalli. I have been meaning to read this one for a very long time, because this one, the publisher definitely sent to me, so thank you to HarperCollins. I listened to this one on audio. It's following Imogen, who is hopelessly heterosexual, but she sees herself as like the token straight in the LGBT society, like she's the ally. But she goes to visit her friend in college, who has told the entire friend group that they used to date, so that Imogen is bi, and now she is struggling with her own identity. I did enjoy this one. I gave it 3 stars. I feel like there's a lot of like 3 stars here. Nothing bad, it's just not anything more for me. I've been aware that I've grown out of Becky Albertalli for a while, and that makes me sad, which is why I've been putting this off. But I think part of the reason why this wasn't higher is because, and same with some of the other books in the stack, is because they're YA, and I am a little bit older than that age bracket now, and I would have loved them if I was a bit younger, when I was a bit younger. 2 books to go and I am running behind time. I need to leave, so very quickly, the last 2 books I read, the penultimate book is The Bell Witches by Lindsey Kelk. This was released in November, I think, and this is a proof. Again, so thank you to Harper for sending this my way. This one is following Emily. Her father dies and she moves from Wales to Savannah in Georgia, and she's living with her aunt and her grandmother. She never really knows about this family and they are very mysterious to her, and she's kind of been like kept away from them her whole life. And she also meets the alluring Win, this boy in town, in the small town. She doesn't know why they're kind of like attracted to each other. And then witchy stuff happens, basically. I did quite enjoy this one. I also listened to this on audio, I think. Yeah. Sometimes I struggle with fantasy on audio, but because this is set in the real world, it was absolutely fine for me. It gets wild and I definitely enjoyed the plot. It was really entertaining. I gave this one 3.5 out of 5 stars, or 3 stars? I gave this one 3 stars. A lot of 3 stars this month. And the next one is Any Trope But You by Victoria Lavine. This was last month's Afterlight book, I believe, and I just picked it up straight away. Listened to this one on audio as well. Definitely a lot of my reading is coming from audio at the moment. And this is about a romance author who gets cancelled, basically, and her sister sends her away to live in the wilderness and to try and overcome like the stuff that she's just been through, because she thinks her sister needs a change of scene. And then of course she meets this lumberjack who works at this place that she's staying. This was highly enjoyable. I really, really loved it. I actually gave this one 4 stars. Again, it wasn't a 5, it was nothing like, not my new favourite book or anything, but overall it was great. I love the characters, it was steamy, I wanted to read on, it was kind of addictive. So another 4-star romance from me. Okay, I'm sorry I had to rush through all of that and now I need to disappear, but thank you so much for watching. Maybe this is a good format to do wrap-ups, yeah, because it keeps me to like not talking for too long about each book and going on tangents. So I'm gonna rush off now, but thank you and I will see you in the next one. Bye!